Hey true believers, and welcome to Hell. Well, not really Hell, part 2 of Hell, by which I mean my New Avengers retrospective. Yeah, I've tried multiple times to get through this and do this within, the time constraints and also, actually have some quality, numerous failures. Hopefully this time is the charm. We won't bother to say what number it is, but it's the middle of the friggin' night, but that's not too weird for me. Yeah, because I wanted, to talk about my own personal feelings, blah blah blah, about, the New Avengers series that just concluded before we start moving on to other stuff, and I desperately want to move on to other stuff. I have a few things planned, at least one really big thing that I'm really looking forward to, multiple parts, but anyway, getting ahead of myself. So yeah, I'm just worried about, I don't want to just be summarizing a bunch of plot points and rehashing things or pointing out stupid details or, only focusing on one thing while ignoring others. So I'll just try my best here to talk about, stuff that I liked about it, and try not to go over anything that I already said, or at least not, rehash it too much. See my part 1, please see my part 1. So I was talking about various things, and one of the things that's really great about Bendis in this is, like, his ability to lay the groundwork for a story that's coming up, like, way back, and have it resonate and come through. One of the things that's sort of interesting about it is sort of the revelation during the whole Secret Invasion thing that the most important Skrull imposter of all was probably Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, who had been with New Avengers since they started. Here is the first issue of New Avengers after Secret Invasion, the beginning of Dark Reign, number 48. Shot here of everybody sort of just cleaning up after the main battle where they win, and everybody's just looking at each other funny, and then you see in the bottom corner everybody sort of looking sideways at Jessica Drew, the real Jessica Drew. And then a couple days later, we have them all meeting in, I think it's Iron Fist's place, or the place he has set up for it. Iron Fist here is telling everybody that he can't really be an Avenger anymore, but if they want to give him a call, that's cool. Yeah, and then anyway, and so certain people will show up, and then there she is, the real Jessica Drew for the first time, showing up, and everybody just looks at her funny. Especially Luke Cage, and Wolverine is actually the voice of reason here, saying she didn't do anything, and Bucky Cap comes in, and he's a little better about it, and welcoming her in. But anyway, so let's go way back here. So here's New Avengers number 14, the first of 2 covers that have back-to-back with her on the cover. And this is right after they leave Japan, after trying to help out Echo. And so that issue ended with Cap, Steve Rogers, asking, who, this is all before Civil War and everything is way back, asking her, so who are you working for? Because he's not stupid and knows that she'd done something sort of funny there with Madame Hydra. And so then anyway, he tells her, you better tell me the truth. So she starts to tell the truth, and she starts explaining about how not too long ago her powers just crapped out on her. And how an agent of Hydra came in and beat her up and then offered her the chance to get her powers back. And she has a history with Hydra, both her parents were in it, and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Of course, they really want her to be this great double agent. So here she is having a meeting with Nick Fury, because she's still working for S.H.I.E.L.D. at this point, saying, what should I do? And Nick Fury says, do it. Go in there and do it, and that way you can be our double agent and pass information, blah, blah, blah. This will really work, etc., etc. So then we have her going under the knife here, what seems to be Hydra scientists. They put her under, and when she comes back, she gets all her powers back. Except we find out much later, I didn't dig out the issue, but one of the issues during Secret War shows us what really happens right here in the next panel. Once she's out, these are not Hydra agents, they are Skrulls, and then they perform the sacred rites and scientific hoopla and whatever it takes to replace Jessica Drew with the Skrull Queen. So all of this is Jessica Drew, which is pretty damn cool. What else have we got really going on in New Avengers at this during this run? Like I said, things I appreciated, things I didn't. So after Civil War is over and they realize that they've sort of left Echo as a loose end over in Japan, they go to get her. Here's the cover, 27. But 27 happens right after, you'll never guess, 26. And here's this 26. And this is interesting. This follows Clint Barton, who is back to life once more, sort of wandering around, not really understanding why he's alive, and he seeks out, obviously, the Scarlet Witch here, and he goes to Doctor Strange, who says, you won't get any closure from seeing her. She is the one that killed him. She killed him in what started all of New Avengers with the whole disassembled thing. He blows up. And then through all the whole House of M mumbo-jumbo, she brings him back to life only to sort of kill him again. But when House of M fades away, he finds himself alive for whatever reason. I don't know if it has to do with her weird magics, messing up, because technically his death was the result of that, or whatever. So he goes and finds her somewhere in Eastern Europe, and she apparently has amnesia, has no idea who she is or what's going on. And because he's Clint Barton, he sleeps with her, and then he just leaves. Clint Barton's pretty up there on the whole he gets around list. Pretty much at the top. He's probably top 5 material. Arguably, you'd have to say it's Tony Stark or Matt Murdock. If a chick comes into their book, they're going to sleep with them, whether she's a deadly enemy or whatever. Before it's over, Matt Murdock and Tony Stark will have slept with whatever woman has shown up. But anyway, so that's kind of cool. So then we jump back into, yes, them going after the Hand, and she's killed by Elektra and then brought back to life, and the brainwashing thing that they had used actually seems to work, and as you see the cover here, while still under the brainwashing, she stabs Doctor Strange. This is, again, right after the Civil War is over, and, of course, House of M happened before Civil War, and, so what we get here, is that team that I like so much with Black Spidey, Iron Fist is suddenly there, Doctor Strange is suddenly there, and Clint Barton, who had just come back from this, decides to join them because he needs something to do, and he takes on the Ronin persona and comes. And there's a later comic just before Secret Invasion really starts going, where he sleeps with her. Echo, because, why not? She's there, he's there, so bam. And then, of course, what's funny is, bam, Secret Invasion ends, and one of the things I didn't really show you in these pages, because I'm an idiot, is a few characters it was a good excuse to bring back a few characters that had died years ago, and give a reason for why they'd be alive again, and one of these would be Bobby Morse, I want to say? Mockingbird, who was Hawkeye's previous wife. And, so yeah, in the pages of this, we can see them standing together. There they are up here. So that's another thing that Secret Invasion was a good excuse for, bringing her back. I don't really know much about Mockingbird. I knew a bit about her back from when I read the pages of West Coast Avengers. I know exactly why she split up from Clint Barton. It was a whole thing about not killing somebody but letting them die. I knew this because Moon Knight was there at the time, and he actually sided with her when she left. So what else we got going on here? Oh yeah, another one of the things that's going on throughout the whole thing is another character of Bendis's that he's brought along, and a creation is the Hood. Parker Robbins, who is a sort of a low-level gangster who winds up imbued with the powers of this demon. Much later on in the pages of New Avengers, we find out it's Dormammu, and he has his own gang of just reject super criminals, and the idea is he's gonna, he's gonna do crime right, they're not just gonna get, try out plots and get beaten up by superheroes and thrown in jail. They're going to do it a new way. And all that was okay, and it's not until around here, in the wake of Dark Reign, that he really starts doing stuff with him. Because there is a lot of sort of almost filler. I'm not saying it doesn't serve any purpose. Well, one of the things that gets a little draggy in New Avengers is they keep having these huge fights with the Hood's gang, and one way or another beating them up, and just these big page, two-page spreads of the fights, and it's actually not very interesting, and a little boring. I mean, you have guys like members of the Wrecking Crew are there, and they are very powerful characters, and yet they're still getting beaten by the New Avengers, who are not a particularly powerful team at this point, particularly after losing people like Iron Man. Ms. Marvel is part of them again. That's another thing that she joins in the wake of Secret Invasion. Yeah, so, I guess that's all I'll say. More stuff about it is going to occur to me, but, we have to move on here, folks, and I'm sorry if this was kind of dull and not my usual sort of analytical style. Maybe I didn't give you the kind of info I usually do, but I'm working on something that's going to be, less about sort of my opinions and just more about, some history, because, I don't know, it's great that people want to see my, hear my my viewpoint and my opinions, and that's great, and of course I'll continue to do that. But I want to give something substantial in addition to that, and so I'll try to educate you a little bit on some stuff. Got some history coming up. I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's some stuff I'm really interested in. I hope you will be too. So that's going to do it for now, but I'll see you guys next time, really soon, hopefully, picking it up. Peace out, Excelsior. Bye bye.